Next category, Best Original Score. We have Terrence Blanchard for The Five Bloods, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, Menk, Emile Minari, James Newton Howard, News of the World, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, Jon Batiste. That's for Soul. I think it's going to go to Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and Jon Batiste for Soul. That's the movie or the score that's been winning in all the other award shows. So I think the Oscars are going to pick this one as well. I do like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They scored Social Network, which is a very good score. And I remember that one because I really enjoyed the score in Social Network. And this time they have Jon Batiste, who's joining them in Soul. And they actually got nominated for Mank as well. At least Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were. So I think it's going to go to Soul for Best Original Score. Next category, Best Original Song. We have Fight For You for Judas and the Black Messiah, Hear My Voice from The Trial of Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, Low C Scene from The Life Ahead, and the last one, Speak Now from One Night in Miami. I think the winner for Best Original Song is going to go to Speak Now from One Night in Miami. The music and lyrics are by Leslie Oldham Jr. and Sam Ashworth. I think it's going to win because, for one, I've heard that it's been winning many of the awards, so we'll stick to that. And Leslie Odom Jr., I think that's the one that's going to give him the Oscar because he was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and I don't think he's going to win for that. So I think they'll give him the Oscar for Best Original Song. The only other one that might sneak in there is for the song Fight For You from Judas and the Black Messiah, which is music by, now I don't know if I'm mispronouncing this or not, but H.E.R. or maybe Her, and Derns Emile II, lyrics by either H.E.R. or Her, and Tiara Thomas. So that's the movie, the song Fight For You that I think might sneak in there. So that's the second spot. But I think Speak Now will win for One Night in Miami for Best Original Song. Next one here, Best Documentary Short Subject. I did not get a chance to watch these short subjects. I'm gonna straight up tell you that right now. But I do have an idea of who might actually win. Alright, so for Best Documentary Short, we have A Concerto is a Conversation. The next nominee is A Love Song for Latasha. It's a Netflix. The next nominee is Hunger Word. The next nominee is Colette. And the last nominee here is Do Not Split. So of these nominees, the best documentary short film, I think is going to be A Concerto is a Conversation, which is directed by Chris Bowers. So this is the one about the jazz pianist and film composer who tracks the family's lineage through his 91-year-old grandfather from Jim Crow, Florida. So that's the one that I think is going to win. So the next category is Best Documentary Feature, and we have Collective, Alexander Nanau and Bianca Oana. Crip Camp, Nicole Newham, Jim Lebrecht, and Sarah Boulder. The Mole Agent, Mate Aberdi and Marcela Santibanez. My Octopus Teacher, Pippa Ehrlich, James Reed, and Craig Foster. Time, Garrett Bradley, Lauren Domino, and Kellen Quinn. So I didn't get a chance to watch any of these documentaries, but I've seen that the film My Octopus Teacher is winning a lot of awards, so I think that is the front runner. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick to that. So My Octopus Teacher is most likely the Oscar winner for Best Documentary Feature. Next category is Best Live Action Short Film. Now this is the only short category that I actually watched. So I did watch all of these live action shorts, or these shorts, and I'll tell you the film that I think will win, and then I'll tell you the one that I think should win. So the nominees are Feeling Through, The Letter Room, The Present, Two Distant Strangers, White Eye. So the film that I think will win is Two Distant Strangers. So Two Distant Strangers talks about Black Lives Matter, the issues that we've been dealing with, with George Floyd, and a lot of these these cops, killing African Americans. We've seen a lot of that in 2020, even before that, but it seems like we're seeing a lot more in 2020, and we're starting to see a lot more in 2021. So I think Two Distant Strangers will be the winner for the best live action short film. The only reason why I don't think it should win is because the message in the story, while it's good and strong, I think it's too on the nose. It's actually on Netflix. This particular one is on Netflix. The one that I like the best is the live action short called Feeling Through. It's about this homeless black guy who's I think he's in New York City, and he helps this deaf and blind guy get around, and it's a pretty cool little short there, and I like that one more. The message there was a lot more subtle than Two Distant Strangers, and I hope that one wins, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to go to Two Distant Strangers. Next one, Best Animated Short Film. The nominees are Burrow, Disney Plus Pixar, Genius Loci, I believe that's how you pronounce that, Kazakh Productions, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Netflix, Opera, Beasts and Natives Alike, Yes People from CAOZ, HF Holamai. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but those are the best animated short film nominees. I think they're going to give it to If Anything Happens, I Love You on Netflix. I just think I might have heard that this is the front runner, and I'm just going to stick to that. I would say maybe Burrow has a chance. Usually Disney, Pixar usually wins these kind of animated shorts. Although this one was kind of a little different. I did start watching Burrow sometime last year, and I didn't really grab my attention like some of the other Disney Pixar movies that we've seen in the past. But so it might win, but I'm gonna stick to If Anything Happens, I Love You, Netflix. The next category we have Best Cinematography, and the nominees are Sean Bobbitt, Judas and the Black Messiah, Eric Messerschmidt for Mank, Darius Wolski, News of the World, Joshua James Richards, Nomadland, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Feeden Papa Michael, and I think the winner of this is going to be Joshua James Richards for Nomadland. Next categories, so we're starting to get to those big categories. So we have Best Original Screenplay, Will Burson, Shaka King, story by Will Burson, Shaka King, Kenny Lucas, Keith Lucas, and this is for Judas and the Black Messiah. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman, Darius Martyr, Abraham Martyr, story by Darius Martyr, Derek Cianfrance. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but this is for Sound of Metal. And lastly, Aaron Sorkin, Trial of the Chicago 7. I would think that they might give it a Trial of the Chicago 7, but I think Trial of the Chicago 7 has lost its steam. When it first came out, it was the talk about, being an Oscar contender. I don't think they're going to give it to Aaron Sorkin for original screenplay. He's already won an Oscar before, so I think they are going to give it to Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. It has a message. A lot of people I think are liking the movie, even though some people have mixed feelings about the ending. But I think the overall issue pertaining to the lead story in the script in the movie is very strong enough that it will win the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. So I'll pick Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Next category we have Best Adapted Screenplay, and the nominees are Screenplay by Sacha Baron Cohen, Anthony Hines, Dan Swimer, Peter Bainum, Erica Rivinoja, Dan Mazer, Jenna Friedman, Lee Kern, story by Sacha Baron Cohen, Anthony Hines, Dan Swimer, or maybe it's Swimer, Nina Pedrad. That's a lot of writers now. The story by credit are some of the same ones, but it was still a lot of writers there. For Borat Subsequent Movie Film, which is the Borat sequel. So that's the first adapted screenplay nominee. Next one we have Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller for The Father, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Kemp Powers for One Night in Miami, Ramin Barani for The White Tiger. That's a film that came out on Netflix. I didn't get a chance to watch that one, but it was nominated for an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. And the one that I think will win is going to be Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller for The Father. This is one of the categories where I think I might actually get wrong. I think it's a toss-up. It's a 50-50 between The Father and Nomadland, who's written by Chloe Zhao. I'll stick to The Father, Christopher Hampton, and Florian Zeller for Best Adapted Screenplay, but I will not be surprised if Chloe Zhao wins the Oscar for Adapted Screenplay. The next one we have Best Animated Feature Film, and this one is the most obvious one, but I'll read the nominees. Onward, Pixar. Over the Moon, Netflix. A Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, Netflix. Soul, Pixar. Wolfwalkers, Apple TV+. So the obvious choice here that Soul will win Best Animated Feature Film. I enjoyed Soul. I did like it. I enjoyed Onward more. That was another Pixar movie. It has similar themes about death, not as much as Soul. Soul was a little bit more in depth. It was basically asking what's the purpose of life, or what's the meaning of life in a way, without getting into any religious aspects of Soul. So I think it's a very strong animated film, and I think it will win. Next category, we have Best Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Maria Bakalova for Borat subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and the last one, Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari. So this is the category that I had trouble coming to a conclusion, coming to a decision, because there's a few things to play here, a lot of factors to play in here. So the one that I think has the least amount of likelihood of winning is probably it's probably Maria Bakalova and Amanda Seyfried. Amanda Seyfried probably more for Mank. So those are the two that I think you can exclude. Olivia Colman was, I think, a top contender, so I think that they'll probably exclude her. She has won an Oscar already for leading role, so I don't think she'll win. Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy and Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari, I think, are the two ones that I thought that maybe could actually steal the Oscar. I was kind of surprised that Glenn Close was nominated for Hillbilly Elegy, because that movie was not reviewed very well, and she hasn't really been getting any nominations, so I don't think that they were actually going to give her an Oscar nomination, but they did. And when I saw that they did nominate her, I was thinking, this is probably the chance that the Academy wants to give Glenn Close her first Oscar. She's been nominated like 8 times, I think. I think it's like 8 or 9 times, and she's never won. And I think they were maybe trying to set up like a rematch between Glenn Close and Olivia Colman, because last time Glenn Close was nominated, Olivia Colman was nominated for the first time, and she won for Best Actress. And then the thing about Hillbilly Elegy's performance from Glenn Close is that movie, Glenn Close was also nominated for a Razzie. So she got nominated for an Oscar and a Razzie for the same role in the same movie. So that's really the only reason why I would think that Glenn Close would win, because that's kind of like a life achievement Oscar in a way. But I think I'm going to have to pick Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari, which I think will be the first Asian actress to win an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate about that. She's been winning the last 2 award ceremonies from other areas, so I think that she's actually gonna win it. But who knows? Maybe the Academy decides to give the Oscar to Glenn Close to finally give her that competing Oscar that she's been trying to get for many years. So I'll stick to Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari for Best Supporting Actress. Next category, we have Best Actor in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Sacha Baron Cohen, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. So this one is the very obvious one. Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah. He's gonna win. He's won every single award, every single award ceremony. He has won every single one of them. So he's a lock. He's winning an Oscar for his role in Judas and the Black Messiah. I really did like Sacha Baron Cohen in The Trial of the Chicago 7. When I first saw the movie back in October, I believe it was in October, I knew right away he's getting at the very least an Oscar nomination, and he was the one to beat. And then I saw Daniel Kaluuya's performance, and I was like, okay, well, maybe they won't give it to Sacha Baron Cohen. I think Daniel Kaluuya will probably win. And then the awards began to be announced, and Daniel Kaluuya has been winning all of them, so he's the one that's going to win. The one that is interested about the other nominee, Lakeith Stanfield from Judas and the Black Messiah, is that his performance is really a lead. I think the studio, Warner Brothers, decided to put him as a supporting role to give him a chance to get an Oscar nomination. He got the Oscar nomination. He's not going to win. I did like Paul Raci in Sound of Metal. He had like a very subtle, very likable performance. Like you just kind of resonate with him. You kind of connect with him. Like, okay, he's a cool, solid guy. Like, it's a guy that you would want to meet in real life. Like, oh, he'll be a cool guy to know. And I don't know if it's just the actor or maybe it's a performance, but he was good. I was fine with his nomination. I don't think he's going to win. And Leslie Odom Jr., I think the Academy is going to give him an Oscar for the original song, which I mentioned earlier. Next one here, Best Actress in a Leading Role. This one is the one that I think I had trouble the most. I kept going back and forth with this one, probably more so than I've ever had, I think. And I'll give you a final decision, but I don't know. So we have Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. So here are the factors. Here are the issues that I'm seeing here. Carey Mulligan, which we're hearing a lot that she's gonna win. She's gonna win the Oscar. She's actually hasn't won many of the previous Oscar or the previous awards, like the Golden Globe. She lost to the SAG. She lost to, but there's just some people saying that Carey Mulligan will win the Oscar for Promising Young Woman. I liked her performance. I don't know if I would necessarily pick her, and I don't think she's gonna win. The other one, Vanessa Kirby, Piece of a Woman. A lot of people are not really talking about her performance. I think the nomination is her win. The fact that she's been nominated. I mean, she was good in it, but I don't think she has a chance of winning. So Vanessa Kirby, I think she's out. The next one we have Andra Day, The United States versus Billie Holiday. So I thought maybe she would be a front runner at first. She won the Golden Globe. Andra Day's performance is a biopic on Billie Holiday. There's a lot of issues, racial issues that are brought up that were set, decades ago, and some of the issues that are still happening now. So it kind of fits all of those little elements that the Oscars like to award for a Best Actress performance. So Andra Day, I don't think she's gonna win. So I think she might be out. And then the other ones, the other two are the ones that I keep going back and forth on, is Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Frances McDormand for Nomadland. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those two actually win the Oscar. Frances McDormand, she has a very good, powerful, subtle performance. So she did very well there. I wouldn't be surprised if she wins it. Viola Davis does do a top, powerful, and very great performance. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on with her, with this character. So this performance is based on a real individual, another performer, kind of like Billie Holiday. So I think Viola Davis might actually win the Oscar, and she is the one that I'm gonna pick. So I'm ultimately gonna decide Viola Davis will win for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. She'll win her first Best Actress in a Leading Role Oscar. She's won for Best Supporting Actress in Fences, so I think she'll win for Actress in a Leading Role. The reason why I'm thinking maybe Frances McDormand won't win for Nomadland ultimately over Viola Davis is because she's won 2 lead actress Oscars before. The most recent one, or the last Oscar she won, wasn't that long ago. So the Academy, from what I've seen in Oscar history, the Academy doesn't like to give 3 Oscars to one actor unless they're absolutely amazing. And I mean like amazing. So I'm not saying that Frances McDormand is not amazing, but I don't know if this is the performance that will win her that special 3rd Oscar, especially for a leading role. So some of the actors that has actually won 3 Oscars are Daniel Day-Lewis, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, and then if you go back to decades, Katharine Hepburn has won, I think, 4 Oscars, and she's like a rarity. I don't even know what other actors have won more than 3, but it's very rare. So I don't know if Frances McDormand is gonna be that recipient of a 3rd Oscar. It is possible. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. It's gonna be between her and Viola Davis, but I'll pick Viola Davis to win it. The other pro for Viola Davis is that I'm sure the Academy wants to give an Oscar to only the 2nd African American woman to win Actress in a Leading Role. The only other actress who's won for Best Actress in a Leading Role is Halle Berry, and that was like in 2002, I think it was 2002. She's the only actress to have won an Oscar, an actress of color, for a leading role. There's plenty that have won supporting, but only one has won for lead. So I think maybe Viola Davis, they may want to give it to her for lead actress. So that's another reason why I'm picking her. So that's it for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Next category here, we have Best Actor in a Leading Role. We have nominees Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, Steven Yeun for Minari. So this one's a little bit of a tricky one here too. Although I'm not struggling on choosing, the winner is going to be Chadwick Boseman from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So here are the little elements or little issues that I have with this. So Gary Oldman, well, he did a strong. He always does a very good job when whatever role he takes. I didn't think his performance was necessarily Oscar worthy, or at least to be nominated. Gary Oldman played a Hollywood legend, I guess you can say. He wrote Citizen Kane. There's some issues going on with that writer getting credit and all that stuff. It goes into it in the movie. So I think the Academy maybe wants to nominate Gary Oldman because he portrayed, a Hollywood legend. So in a old Hollywood movie, which makes sense. Okay, so you nominate him, fine. He already has an Oscar. He has multiple Oscar nominations, so I don't think he's going to win at all. And then we have Steven Yeun from Minari. He has already made history by being nominated for an Oscar in a leading role. I think he's the first Asian American to ever get nominated for an Oscar in a leading role. So I think that's his nomination. I don't think he has a chance of winning. I would have picked him over Gary Oldman for sure. Then we have Riz Ahmed as Sound of Metal. His performance was really good as well. He's a drummer who begins to go deaf. His life is being a drummer, being a musician, and now he loses his hearing, and you can hear his frustration in his performance. How is he gonna do what he does for a living? How is he gonna do what he loves? And he just lost his hearing, and he's trying everything that he can to both try to get his hearing back and then keep the love of his life. So it's a whole thing. It's a good movie. It's on Amazon, and no problems with Riz Ahmed being nominated for an Oscar for this role. I don't think he's gonna win. And then we come back to Chadwick Boseman, who I think will win, and Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Chadwick Boseman, I think he's gonna win because, well, for one, his performance is good. It is a strong performance. Mainly it's because they're not gonna be able to get another chance to give Chadwick Boseman an Oscar, and this is the time to do it. This is the last chance, since, as we all know, Boseman passed away last year, so this will be the last time that he could possibly win an Oscar. So I think they're gonna give that to him. I don't think his performance was bad. It was a good performance, and I'm fine with him getting nominated for an Oscar, but I think Anthony Hopkins should win the Oscar for The Father. I think he's the strongest performance in this category. I can't even describe the performance Anthony Hopkins makes in The Father. It is just very, very strong. It's very, very powerful. It's very, very real. It's raw. You buy into everything he's doing, he's saying. It's a great performance, I must say. I think I'm going to say maybe Anthony Hopkins' best performance, even over his well-known portrayal or well-known performance of Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. I would say that the performance is even stronger in The Father than even that performance in Silence of the Lambs. So I think he should win, Anthony Hopkins, but he will not. So it's going to go to Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Now let me get this clear. I don't think Chadwick Boseman is not worthy of getting an Oscar nomination. He definitely is worthy of it. It's just that if I'm gonna go between these five, I think Hopkins did a better performance than Boseman. But I'm choosing Boseman to win it. Next category. Best Director. Here are the nominees. Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. So I think this is a lock. Chloe Zhao is going to win Best Director for Nomadland. That would make the only second woman to win an Oscar for Best Director, and she'll be the only Asian woman, again, to win an Oscar. So she's been winning everything when it comes to the other awards, so she's going to win Best Director. That's pretty much it. Like, there's not much discussion about that. I think she's just going to win. Chloe Zhao. I'll be shocked if someone else wins it. So Chloe Zhao for Best Director, Nomadland. All right, so finally we got to Best Picture. So we got 8 Oscar nominees for Best Picture. We have The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, The Trial of the Chicago 7. So the one that I think is going to win, I think is going to be Nomadland. Producers are Frances McDormand, Peter Spears, Molly Asher, Dan Janvey, and Chloe Zhao. We're going to be the producers of Nomadland. So Nomadland has also been winning a lot of the awards. The critics are absolutely loving Nomadland. It's a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and just critics are loving it. And as I mentioned, Nomadland has been winning a lot of the awards. So I think Nomadland is the front runner to win Best Picture. Frances McDormand looks like she will get a 3rd Oscar, but it won't be for acting. But at least I don't think so. And then we have Chloe Zhao, who at that point would have won for Best Director, which is what I'm predicting. And then she'll get another Oscar for producing Nomadland. So a lot of people are really liking Nomadland. Some people who are watching it might find it to be kind of boring. I found it to be interesting. I found it interesting because, I wasn't aware of situations like that. We have these nomads who are choosing to, in a way, live in their vehicles or whatever the case might be. And Frances McDormand portrayal of the character was very likable. Like, you feel for her, and then you get to hear some real nomads. We can hear some of the real stories that they've experienced, and it's a situation where these people, they're not even sad about it. Like they in a way kind of choosing to be this way. Like that's what they want to do. That's their life. They're not asking for any sympathy or anything like that. That's what they want. That's what they love doing. So it's an interesting story. It is very slow. Don't expect some huge action sequence or some groundbreaking special effects. It's definitely not that kind of movie, as I'm sure you've seen in the posters and if you saw a trailer. So the Oscars are on Sunday, April 25th on ABC. We'll see how accurate I was. I'm sure I'm going to miss a couple. Hopefully not too many, but I'm sure I'll miss a couple there. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, be subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.